I'm Trevor Weimer, and this is Group 5, and today we're going to be talking about the response of leisure service providers to increased need for recreation for persons who are homeless in the U.S.
I'm Bo Burgess.
I'm Charlie Horn.
And we're going to be talking about facts
And statistics.
I'm Thomas DeWalt.
I'm Austin Rayner.
And we're going to be talking about recommendations.
And this is our presentation.
So I'm going to be speaking about background information as it regards to homelessness in the United States. Homelessness has become a growing societal problem within the United States. As you can tell, walking around the streets, you see those who are out there struggling. The majority of people who experience homelessness usually have severe hardships, and these hardships become disabilities or medical issues. Those people that are homeless often experience disaffiliation from the rest of society due to unemployment, the inability to create relationships, as well as the limited access to social groups as well as churches. And this usually creates an isolated life for these individuals that result in a lower health and overall quality of life.
So here are some facts and statistics that we found about homelessness. It's estimated that over 600,000 people are homeless every night, and this doesn't just include people who have a home to sleep in or a bed to go to at night. This includes people who ask people to spend the night at their house and things like that, couch surf, people who are just don't have the resources that they need. About 36% of homeless families have children. If you think about this, you lose your job and you just don't have 2 people to support. You have 3, 4, maybe 5 kids to support also. So
about 23% of the homeless in America are under the age of 18, and of this 23%, 84% fall into drug abuse. So you start at a young age with drug abuse, you're going to have trouble finding jobs the rest of your life, which is going to just lead to a longer struggle with homelessness. There's estimated about 46% of homeless people report physical abuse, 36% report emotional abuse, and 17% are forced to unwanted sexual abuse, which is compared to about 1 to 3% of the everyday normal society of people that report these crimes. So there's a high wave of crime rate and homelessness in America.
Alright, so this is a graphic that talks about the triggers of homelessness. We're going to start out talking about the lowest percentage and then go up to the highest. So the first one is at 9%, and that's drug and alcohol abuse. You think about that, you're spending a lot of money on drugs and alcohol. It kind of takes over your life. It's hard to stop from that, so there's a lot of money going towards that. 10% changes in your family status, such as health. Paying hospital bills, medicine, things like that, especially when you don't have insurance, it can get really pricey. 10% here, sick, disabled, mental health. Again, the bills for those and receiving treatment is pretty expensive.
11% are individuals that were incarcerated, which means they're going to prison. 11% also was abuse at home, so they have a bad home life. 13% was evicted by family members. 15% was bills higher than their earnings, so they couldn't afford what they were living with. And then ultimately the loss of job was 35%. And this graphic comes from Houston, from a research that was in 2011 through 2012.
Alright, so now we're going to talk to you a little bit about some recommendations to address homelessness. Our first recommendation is a concentrated area or a case study similar to the Coalition for the Homeless that was done in Houston. It was also seen in the graphic that was just depicted in the facts and statistics. But this case study will answer exactly what is going on with those that are homeless and how they got to this point. Also, our second recommendation is partner with the Homeless Coalition, similar to that, to provide an organized recreation activity to help cope with mental and emotional abuse as well as physical abuse.
And this abuse, as Ace just talked about, can lead to a cycle for children that can continue homelessness in their lives. The third recommendation we would have is to partner with the Drug Addiction Treatment Center to sponsor an annual walking event that encourages physical exercise instead of drug use. And this can help not only children but also adults to create a better avenue for drug use, and instead of using drugs they can go outside and do some walking or do some other sort of physical activity that can take up that time.
Of course, all of our recommendations are research-based. They're coming straight from our facts and statistics, which were presented by Bo and Charlie, as well as our background info presented by Trevor. We hope that our first recommendation of utilizing a concentrated case study with a Parks and Rec department to figure out exactly why people have gotten to the point of homelessness, as well as our second recommendation, which was partnering with the Homeless Coalition to provide an organized recreation activity to combat abuse, and our third recommendation, partnering with the Drug Addiction Treatment Center to sponsor an annual walking program to combat or lack of physical exercise. We all hope these recommendations will be beneficial to the homelessness, and we thank you for your time listening to our presentation. This was Group 5 again, and we'll see you later.